Hi, good day. Astravue is a simple, smart tool to manage all your tasks and projects, timesheets, everything in one place. If you're a smaller team or if you're a freelancer, this should be your go-to application. We're going to see everything about Astravue today on how to create a task, what is a space, what's a project, how can you collaborate and get all your projects delivered on time. So as soon as you log in, you get to see this home screen. So this gives a pretty much high level overview on what's going to be your day or week like. So if you look at total, there are 32 tasks, 8 completed and 24 pending. This is across all projects and all tasks. And we also calculate an on-time completion. If the task is completed within the due date, you have a higher on-time completion rate. So this is your tasks which you would have to perform. These are your upcoming due dates, and in case if you have any overdue for this month, you can check that, and at all time if you want to see, these are all your overdues, right? And let's say you assign the task to somebody else, right? So how do you track that? So assigned by me helps you track all the tasks that you have assigned to somebody else that are open and overdue with the time filters, right? In case you're working for a client on a hourly T&M basis, then you can start tracking your timesheets from here. So you can quickly export them as well. And if you have recurring tasks, for example, your weekly review meeting with the client or a monthly follow-up meeting on understanding their business and supporting, you could create all those as recurring tasks here. And you don't need WhatsApp or any other communication tool to talk about a particular task as or a project. So you can quickly collaborate within the comments, and if somebody has commented and tagged you, you would get all that in the notifications here. Clicking on it will take you to that particular task. And you can see all the notifications in the notifications bar. So apart from all the projects, you can also track all your personal projects that you want to prepare and complete. Those can be tracked in your personal projects as well. Now, there are two concepts. One is a space and the next one is a project. And if you're, let's say, a startup of a 20-member team and you're trying to set up everything across all departments, you could have all of your departments as a particular space. And within the space, there can be multiple projects, right? For example, your marketing department can have multiple projects, each for a different event or your branding strategy or your upcoming webinars, anything that you're doing, right? So you can invite only the marketing team to this particular space. And one can be a space admin and some can be a space member too. And once you add them to the space, you can then add them to the project, right? And here you can see everything about a particular project, very detailed, high-level information that you need to know where your current project is. So you can see the dashboard says this particular project has about 15 tasks, 9 completed, 6 pending, and the project progress is about 60%. And the task on-time completion looks a little better, which is 78%. So there are 4 overdue tasks, 2 upcoming deadlines, and there also can be tasks without a deadline. Adding a deadline is very important because then you are just running without a direction or without an ETA. And you can see the distribution of the tasks with respect to the status, and these status can also be custom created for every project that you handle, right? You can quickly see a bar graph or a pie chart or a table view, and you can also filter it by time. And let's say if you want to quickly see, let's say there are 5 members here and you want to see the distribution of the task per member, you can click on it and it will show you how many tasks that are totally there, how many completed and how many pending, right? And you can see the non-billable versus billable hours. Sometimes not all tasks are billable. Any internal communication that you do or research about the particular use case all can be non-billable at times. So you can see the distribution between billable and non-billable and see whether it is leading to your profit that you expected. And the timesheets are clocked by different members. You can see member wise as well on the billable and non-billable, and you can see who is clocking more non-billable, and then identify and talk to them and convert that to billable so that you don't lose any revenue there. And this will give you all the tasks, and you can have different views. Like I said, you can have a Kanban view, you can have a list view, or you can also have a calendar view. And this is what I love the most, right? Let's say you're planning for an event that's coming up in February, right? What I would do is I would have a team meeting, let's say with 4 members, on each of them on who's going to take care of which task, and I would start creating the tasks backward from the due date, because let's say the event is on 7th, right? So here I would say, then let's say CFC event, right? And this is how simple it is to create a task, right? You just go to there, click on that, and you can see a task can already be created here, right? Now if I want the event, if the event is happening on 7th, I need the posters to be ready for the social media marketing at least a week before. So here I would keep the deadline as the posters here, right? And clicking on it, I can assign to a specific team member, right? I can say Sabina can take care of this and Guna can review it, right? And so likewise, and then if I need any content to be ready for the posters, then I would need the content to be ready by this, right? I would say both website and posters content, and I can assign it to my content writer, which is Ramesh, right? And I can ask Guna to coordinate with them, right? So likewise, you can plan all your tasks with just one view, and then you can then go back to your Kanban view and prioritize them, or go back to your list view and add more details about it, right? For example, the one that I just created is here. I've assigned it to posters when contact with a CSE event. The overall owner will be me, right? And quickly I can change this to high, I can change this to medium, and I can change this to high as well, right? And you can see the deadline that we captured in the calendar is here. And you can create custom status. Like I said, apart from closed, let's say I have ideation, content creation, design review, performance analysis. Let's say I'm going to create something called a feedback loop, right? After it went live, I need to understand the feedback on how it went. Did it create the impact or bring in the visitors that we needed? Then I can create that feedback loop and add it as the next stage. And let's say once this templates are live, then I can put it to a feedback loop as well, right? And I can change it to a different due date. So within a particular task, and you can group this by status, you can group this by owners, and the ones that I love the most is grouping it by owners. Quickly, I can see who's working on what and who's taking a longer time. You can see the quick highlights. This is another feature that I love, a quick highlight on how long it is due by, right? There's not much of an SLA that you can calculate on every single task. So this will quickly give you an indication on how long it is delayed, and because of which, what are the other tasks which got delayed because of this task, right? So you can also group by priority, how many low, medium and high tasks that we have, and you can quickly see what stage is it and who is it pending with. And clicking on a particular task has different options, so you can add all the reels, all the details about the tasks here, right? Both YouTube and LinkedIn, right? And you can save, and you can start commenting, and this is where you collaborate, right? So I would just need, could you please share Astra's LinkedIn details with me? So this will give him a notification on his notification bar right on top, and also show on the home screen under mentions, right? Now if I have to create a subtask for this, for example, let's say I'm exploring the reels and shorts, I've started creating videos, but I need some editor, right? So find an editor for us. So this can be a subtask which is related to this, and I can assign it to somebody else, and I can tell them I need this by next week, right? So this will immediately create a task for them and come into their dashboard, and also send a notification saying that I've assigned them a task on this particular project. Anything that you need to do in terms of checklist, you can add it as multiple checklists here. For example, for exploring reels and shorts, I need to say refer Gary's videos, and I would probably refer what typical other YouTube influencers are doing, right? And I would have to research about the do's and don'ts of what should be there, what should not be there. So these are the things that I would do as a part of before, when I'm exploring reels and shorts. And as soon as I'm done, I'll just click on this and this is done, right? If you want to delete it, you could also delete. And if you have to attach anything, you can also attach it here. And the timeline, start and end date, comes here. And if you have to set this as a recurring task, you could also set this as a daily, weekly, monthly recurring task as well. And you can take it from one status to another from here. And if you want to create tags, for example, this is a short video, this is a long video, or a long written or short written. So these are reels and shorts that I'm exporting, so this is a short video, right? And if I have to tag time on, let's say, 2 hours I've spent on this, I can type 2 hours and it'll immediately add. If I want it to be billable, it can be billable. Exploring reels, right? So this will give you a time track on how long this is taking, and you can track multiple time sheets here. So one way is adding this, another way is just starting the timer and ending it, and you could also add directly from here between 11 a.m. and 12 a.m. So these are different options on how you can add the timesheets. And this would give you everything about the activity, right from when it got created, who assigned it, who commented on it, and what details were updated when. So this complete time history, you would see it here. So even if you are missing out on something, you can come back and see who edited what, so that you understand what has actually happened. Now, if I want to send this task quickly to someone, I can copy link. You can comment, but you can also copy link, and then you can directly send it to them, and that would open the task again here directly. And you can also clone this task, and you can clone it along with the attachment, checklist, subtask, and comments, and quickly move this to another project as well. So if I want to move this from one project to another, I can just select this and I can move to another project directly from here. So this will go from this project to the next project. Right? So you don't have to create repetitive tasks when you do the same steps over and over again. You can simply clone it and move it with every details that you had in this particular task. And all the files that you have across all the tasks will be displayed here. You can also have common files and display it. Every time track that you just added against a task will come here. You can export it, send it to your client at every month, ask them to pay the invoice, and see. You can also analyze where it's non-billable, how much is non-billable, why there is so much of non-billable rather than billable, and you can work on how do you increase your billability. This is the overall activity on the project. Who joined, who moved from one task to another, every activity that happens, you have this here. And you can also see the project details when you create it, like what's the overall progress, who's the members, what status is it in, what priority, is it public or private, and all the attachments. You can see a quick review here. There's also a quick email functionality that you can explore. You can send an email with this particular email ID, and it will automatically create a task for you. Let's say you're sending a task to one of your colleagues in an email, just CC this email ID, and that would create a task automatically. Right? If you're adding a new member, you can add and remove members, you can make them admin anytime as well. So these are all your multiple spaces, and within a space you have multiple projects. You can create a new project, you have a space-wise dashboard, and you also have a project specific dashboard, and you also have an overall dashboard on what's happening, including all the tasks that you have, all the tasks that you have assigned, everything that you are managing, plus your personal tasks. Now we also have a basic accounts and contacts module, so you can associate a project to an account, which is the company, and against a contact. When you have multiple projects from a single company, you can associate it to one company and one particular contact, so you know who's the primary contact here. And this database can be enriched further when you do an account specific marketing or an account specific support. You just quickly go to that customer, see all the projects, understand the status. That would give you a better control on talking to that customer. So these are some of the features that I thought I would share with you today on an overview of Astravue, right? So follow up for more. Thank you.